Guys, have you ever wondered or asked yourself, okay, and like under whose definition of success are we living? Like, who created all these rules that for you to be considered as successful, you have to have a big car, a fancy job, qualifications, a big house? Because I think a house was actually created for shelter, and a car, something that was supposed to help you like get from point A to B. But now all of a sudden, like, those things are used as a metric to measure how successful people are, you know? And it's used as a metric to measure how much respect to give people. Because in today's society, like, people ask you like what you do for a living or where you live, just so that they can measure how much respect to give you, you know? And society has created this imaginary timeline where like you have to have things figured out at a certain age, you know? And I'm 35, I'm starting over. Like, I left my 9 to 5 because it just didn't align with who I was becoming, because I just woke up one day and all of these questions just started coming to my head, because I just felt like I was living under someone else's imagination or definition of success. And I think that success should be subjective, you know? And I remember, like, when I left, everybody was asking me like, have you found something better or greener pastures? And I was like, no, like, I'm the greener pasture, you know? I'm going to pursue myself, you know? Because this 9 to 5 concept isn't for me anymore. Like, because you wake up early in the morning. Well, for me, like, waking up early in the morning to go to a place that you don't really want to be, you know, just so that you can pay bills. Like, we don't get time to spend like with our loved ones and all of that, and we do that every day up until like we're 60. And when you're 60, you don't even really get to enjoy the money that you worked so hard for like all your life, you know? Because there are people that get to do it, like, they have time freedom, they have financial freedom, like, you know, like, they get to do what they want and what they love every day, while some of us like are working hard every day, like waking up, going to that one place that you don't want to be at, working your ass off only to pay bills, and then even after payday, like, your money just lost you for like 5 days, and then after that it's finished, you know? And like, you're waiting for the next payday, you know? So I was like, nah, like, I don't want to live like that. I don't want that for myself, you know? And everybody thought I was crazy, but to me it made sense, you know? Everybody was so worried and yeah, asking me like, so like, how are you gonna survive? Are you sure about this? Like, you have a kid, you have this and that, like, you know? And to me, it made sense. The decision that I made was in alignment with the person that I've become. coming, you know. And I've always wanted to leave the 9 to 5 thing, but at first my reasons were not on point. It was because I used to have self-hate, so I was just projecting that on everybody else. I'm like, no, people at work hate me, so I don't want to be there, like, you know. But I started working on myself, and I started learning how to love and accept myself, and I changed the way I looked at things, and the things that I looked at changed, you know. I started showing up for myself, and people around me just automatically also stepped up and started showing up for me, you know. And by the time that I left, the reason wasn't because I think or I feel like people hate me. It was because I started loving myself, and I just manned up and said, no, like, this is not for me. This is not what I want for myself. And I'm just gonna start over and fuck what everybody else says. And here I am, riding my bike in the middle of the day, like, you know. And I'm happy. I just feel at peace, and it's peace that surpasses all human understanding. And there might be people out there, maybe I'm just projecting, there might be people out there like thinking and saying like your age mates are buying cars and you are happy about a bicycle, you know. Yes, it's defying like standards that and rules that were set up by I don't know who, you know, that we have to live by. And it's the very same standards and rules that are making us sick at the end of the day, like mentally, emotionally, physically, you know. But whose definition of success are we living? Under whose imagination are we living? Like, you know. And I know I'm rambling, but remember, like, back in the day, like, it was so nice, you know, like, we didn't have so much pressure. Like, as I already said, a house was meant for shelter, you know, and people were not so depressed and they didn't have to work so hard. Because right now I just feel like in the name of civilization and urbanization, I just feel like it's working against us. Because now we're going to work to get paid so that we can pay for things that were initially free, you know. Like back in the day, like people used to plant, you know, like now food are being made in labs, food is expensive and all of that, and you could just leave your kids with your neighbors and they didn't have to make you pay. Now we have to pay for people to look after our kids and all of that. Like most of the things, if not all of the things that used to be free back then, now we have to pay for them, you know. So we're going to working hard just to pay for things that were free. Like, what in the actual fuck? What in the actual fuck is going on? But that's just my perspective, you know. As I always say, that there are around about 8 billion people in the world, so there are 8 billion different perspectives. So this is just my perspective. I define success because I believe that success should be subjective, you know. So yes, guys. All right, see y'all. Enjoy your weekend. Have a nice Friday. Bye.